Hello students, today again we are continuing with biology chapter number 4, that is molecular basis of inheritance, part 18. Okay, this today is our last lecture for this topic. Next time we will start with a new chapter. Okay, in our last lecture we have studied about the Human Genome Project. Okay, so that was very important question from exam point of view, Human Genome Project. Okay, and the topic that we are going to study today is DNA fingerprinting. This is also very important topic from your exam point of view, and it is a very applicative part of the chapter. Okay, where this topic is very applicative part, and nowadays in our paper application based questions are more asked. Okay, so you need to study this question thoroughly. Okay, DNA fingerprinting, it is very interesting topic. Okay, so let us start with the introduction. Okay, genes present on chromosomes are responsible for determining characters of the organism as well as for the inheritance of character. What does this mean? That genes are present on chromosomes and these genes are responsible for determining the characters, that means traits of the organism, as well as these genes are also responsible for inheritance of character, means transmission of character from one generation to another generation. Okay, and due to recombination of paternal and maternal genes we differ from our parents. What does this mean? That many times we have seen that offsprings are different from their parents, from their mother or their father. Okay, we cannot see that exactly child is like the mother or child is like the father. The child is different from mother and father because it is the recombination of paternal as well as maternal genes. Okay, next, these differences are also arising due to the infrequent mutation, that means sudden changes that occur during gamete formation, that is cell division. Okay, due to all these factors, every individual has its unique genetic makeup. Because of these factors, okay, differences, recombination, mutation, every individual is having its unique genetic makeup, which may be called its fingerprint. Okay, so now we will study about fingerprinting in detail. Let us start with the definition. The technique developed to identify a person with the help of DNA restriction analysis, okay, is known as DNA profiling or DNA fingerprinting. The technique which is developed to identify the person. This technique is specially used to identify a person. Okay, and it is done with the help of DNA restriction analysis. And this process is known as DNA profiling or DNA fingerprinting. Okay, when I say DNA fingerprinting, so who has discovered this topic? This topic was discovered by Alec Jeffrey. Okay, it was discovered by Alec Jeffrey in the year 1984. Okay, in the year, this DNA fingerprinting technique was discovered by Alec Jeffrey in the year 1984 and it was discovered at Leicester University. Okay, this DNA fingerprinting technique is based on identification of nucleotide sequence. Okay, it is based on the identification of nucleotide sequence. About 99.9% of nucleotide sequence in all person is same. Okay, I am telling 99.9% of nucleotide sequence in all the person is same. Only some short sequences of nucleotides differ from person to person. Okay, in the population, every person shows unusual sequences of 20 to 100 base pairs which are repeated several times, and they are termed as variable number of tandem repeats. Okay, that is VNTR, variable number of tandem repeats. And the chances for this VNTR is 30,000 million to 1, except for identical twins. Okay, so all the individuals are having same sequence, but only 1%, 0.1% change is there in all the organism. Okay, 30,000 million in among 30,000 million, only one will be the exceptional case, except that too except for identical twins. Okay, so the length of the regions having VNTR is different in each individual and hence is the key factor in DNA profiling. Okay, the length of region having VNTR is different in each individual and hence it is the key factor in DNA profiling. Now we will start with the steps involved in DNA fingerprinting. There are total 7 steps that we are going to study one by one in DNA fingerprinting. First step is isolation of DNA. Okay, first step is isolation of DNA. DNA must be recovered from cells or tissues. Okay, whatever cell we are getting from the place where we need to do investigation. Okay, so we must collect the cell or tissue. Only a small amount of blood, hair or skin is needed. Root hair, skin or blood is required for the testing. Okay. Next step is restriction digestion. Second step for DNA fingerprinting is restriction digestion. It is also known as DNA cutting. The DNA is cut. Okay, the isolated DNA that we have isolated first in the first step. Isolated DNA is treated with restriction enzyme. Okay, it is treated with restriction enzyme. That means the restriction enzyme cut the DNA into small fragments having variable length. Okay, restriction enzyme cut the DNA into small fragments having variable length. Okay, and this phenomenon is called as restriction fragment length polymorphism, that is RFLP. Okay, I repeat, restriction enzyme cut the DNA into small fragments having variable length. It cut at the DNA at different places and the length of that fragments are different. And so this process is known as restriction fragment length polymorphism. Okay. Now in the third step, that is gel electrophoresis, what is going to happen? The DNA samples are loaded for agarose gel electrophoresis under an electric influence. Okay, the DNA samples are loaded. You can see here the loading of DNA samples. Okay, for agarose gel electrophoresis under electric influence. Okay, under the electric influence. The DNA fragments which are negatively charged, okay, DNA fragments which are negatively charged move to the positive poles. Okay, DNA is negatively charged, it is moving towards the positive pole. You can see here negative and positive. Okay, they move towards the positive pole. The movement of these fragments depend on the length of the fragment. Okay, shorter the DNA fragment move faster than the longer fragment. Okay, the short DNA fragments are moving faster than the long fragments, and the DNA is separated on the basis of size. Okay, double stranded DNA splits into single stranded DNA by an alkali treatment. Okay, next step is Southern blotting. Okay, what is happening in Southern blotting? The separated DNA fragments are transferred to nylon membrane or nitrocellulose filter paper by placing it over the gel and soaking them overnight. Okay, and this process is known as Southern blotting. I repeat, separated DNA fragment are transferred to nylon sheet, okay, nylon membrane or nitrocellulose filter paper by placing it over the gel and soaking them with filter paper overnight. Okay, next step is selection of DNA probe. A known sequence of single stranded DNA is prepared and that is called as DNA probe. DNA probe is obtained from the organism or prepared by cDNA preparation method. Okay, complementary DNA preparation method. The DNA probe is labeled with radioactive isotope. Okay, Then sixth step is hybridization. In this step, probe DNA is added to the nitrocellulose filter paper containing the host DNA. Now what is going to happen? The single-stranded DNA probe pairs with the complementary bases. Okay, single-stranded DNA probe pairs with the complementary basis sequence of the host DNA strand. Okay, then as a result, DNA hybrids are formed on the nitrocellulose filter paper, and remaining single-stranded DNA probe fragments are washed off. Okay, the remaining, those which are complementary gets paired, and there is a pairing of DNA hybrid, and the remaining single-stranded DNA are getting washed off. Okay. Next step is photography. What do you mean by photography? The nitrocellulose filter paper is photographed on the X-ray film by autoradiography technique. Okay, the nitrocellulose paper, that is filter paper, we have used in the DNA hybrid which are formed on this nitrocellulose filter paper. They are photographed on an X-ray film by autoradiography. Okay, and the film is analyzed to determine the presence of hybrid DNA. So I will repeat the 7 steps. You need to remember the 7 steps. Okay, isolation of DNA, restriction digestion, gel electrophoresis, sudden blotting, selection of DNA probe, photography. Okay, now moving on to the application part of the DNA fingerprinting, which is most important part. So first application is it is useful in forensic science. Okay, DNA fingerprinting is used to solve the problems of rape and some complicated murder cases. Okay, forensic science is used for scientific knowledge in legal situation. Okay, DNA profile of each individual is highly specific, that I have already discussed. The chances of 2 people having exactly the same DNA profile is 30,000 million in 1. Okay, except for identical twins. I discussed this. So this is very much application, okay, very much applied for finding out the victims of finding out the person who has done the mischief against the different cases, different murder cases, different rape cases, and it is very much useful in that purpose. Okay, then DNA profile can be used to determine whether particular person is the parent of a child. That means it is useful for finding out the biological father or mother or both of the child in case of disputed parentage. Many times there are cases where there are dispute between the parents. Okay, so at that time this technique is helpful for finding out the child's paternity, that is father, and maternity, that is mother. Okay, this information can be used in paternity suits, inheritance cases, immigration cases. I will give you one example. By comparing the DNA profile of a mother and her child, identify DNA fragments in child which are absent from the mother and must therefore have been inherited from the biological father. So it is very much helpful for finding out the father or mother or both. Okay, and the next application is it is used in pedigree analysis in cat, dog, okay, horses, then humans, etc. Okay, so this was the last topic of this chapter. So we have completed our chapter here. Hope you all have understood this chapter very well. I tried my best to make you to understand in a very simple way. Thank you. In next lecture we will meet, okay, with a new chapter. We will start the new chapter. Okay, thank you students.